Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jeanette, and today I have a recipe for you. This is my whole food plant-based vegan pesto, and it's delicious. It packs a flavor punch, and it's a nice condiment to have on hand because you can put it on so many different things. So you can use it as a spread on a sandwich, you can put it on your salads, you can certainly blend it in with your pastas. It's just really delicious. You could also use it as a dip for raw vegetables or maybe spread it on crackers or something. So if I ever get my hands on fresh basil, this is what I like to make with it. Regular pesto is normally made with pine nuts, cheeses, and extra virgin olive oil. I do have access to pine nuts at the grocery store, but I like to make this with a couple of different seeds. I think it has a really nice flavor like this, so it's just to show you that you don't have to use pine nuts. You could substitute another kind of nut or seed for it. Of course, we're going to eliminate the cheeses in this, and instead we're going to substitute nutritional yeast. And for extra virgin olive oil, this one is oil-free. I'm going to substitute olives for the olive oil. It won't be quite the same. Obviously, we're using a solid food ingredient compared to a liquid, so I'll probably need to adjust with a little bit of water. I have made it with a little extra virgin olive oil in the past, and as you can imagine, it lends a really decadent, creamy texture to the pesto. And if you're not aware, I do consume a little bit of extra virgin olive oil because I also follow the principles of Dr. Andrew Weil's anti-inflammatory diet, and he says that extra virgin olive oil may have some anti-inflammatory benefits, so I consume a tiny bit. And in something like this, a tablespoon of olive oil lasts me 5 days, so it's not really a whole lot. But we're gonna leave it out. We're using olives instead. So let me walk you through the ingredients. So you need some basil. Wegmans carries this beautiful hydroponic grown basil. It's fresh living basil. You can see the roots are still intact. It's so fragrant. Basil, of course, has a nice herbal aroma, but there's also a little bit of a peppery bite to it. It's one of my favorites. Absolutely love it. I never measure out how much I need. Probably 2 good handfuls of basil. I'm going to use this whole thing in the pesto. So I don't have a measurement for this, but 2 good handfuls if you can get your hands on some fresh basil. You can grow it yourself. You can buy a plant. Hopefully you can find some fresh basil at your store, but you need quite a bit of it. I also like to add greens to my pesto because I sneak greens into my meals wherever I can. So I get this blend from Wegmans, and it's their baby kale, spinach, and chard. It's already washed, ready to use. Now I've made the mistake of grabbing a real big handful of this stuff and throwing it in the pesto. Now greens, dark greens like this, have a bitter flavor to them, and it made my pesto really bitter. So I backed off and I just use a small handful of dark leafy greens like this. You could use whatever you like, arugula, spinach, whatever, but I'm gonna use this one. I'm using hemp hearts and pumpkin seeds in place of the pine nuts. So I just wanted to show you, hemp hearts are shelled hemp seeds, and this is what they look like. I'll show you in the bowl too, but if you're not familiar with stuff, I just want to show you like packages of things so you know what it is that I'm using. But hemp hearts. I also use pumpkin seeds, and I just get these. You can get any kind of pumpkin seed you like at the store, but these are the ones that I get. I'm also going to use nutritional yeast as a substitute for the cheese in regular pesto. Now, if you're familiar with plant-based eating, then you probably know all about nutritional yeast, but if you are new to the plant-based world, then you might not be familiar with this ingredient. Nutritional yeast is not the same as baking yeast or brewer's yeast. It's different. So you want to make sure you get nutritional yeast, and it's usually in these little yellow flakes like you see here in the bag, but nutritional yeast. It's much different than other yeast. It has a little bit of an umami flavor, so it's going to bring that savory note to a dish, and it also lends a little bit of a cheesy undertone. That's why a lot of people that cook vegan meals use this in place of cheese. It's really popular in vegan cheese sauces, for instance. So nutritional yeast, we're going to use this. I also need some minced garlic, and if you have fresh, you can certainly use that. But I sometimes also rely on the minced garlic in water in a jar just like this. Totally fine to use. I use it all the time. I'm also going to use some fresh lemon juice and, like I mentioned earlier, some olives in place of the olive oil. Now you could use whatever olives that you like. I'm very fortunate because the Wegmans that's near me has an olive section, fresh olive section, and just every olive you can imagine. And so I got into Castelvetrano olives, which are these green olives. They're amazing. They're some of my favorites. I love black olives. I think those are always going to be my favorite, but these are pretty darn good, so I'm going to use these, but you could use any olives. As I talked about in a recent video, I'm encouraging people to cook more, to prepare their meals. I think we're becoming very disconnected from nature and from our food. And so like when I'm, breaking these leaves and stems off this plant, it's releasing all of the volatile oils and just this beautiful aroma. And I'm spending time with this plant, but you really get to experience all of this beautiful aroma when you prepare this yourself. Okay, so what I have here is my basil. So there's a good handful, and you see there's a little bit left. So at least one good handful of basil. And if you did small handfuls, it's 2 small handfuls. Okay, so we're gonna put that into the processor here. Then I'm gonna go for my greens here and just pick up a small handful of these, something like that. And now I can add my other ingredients. In goes my nutritional yeast, my hemp seed hearts, my pumpkin seeds, my garlic, my olives, and my lemon juice. All right, I'm gonna start to blend this, and I'm probably gonna need to add a little bit of water to this, so I have some water right here ready to go. But I'm just gonna start blending it, and I'll show you how beautiful this turns out. I always need to scrape down the insides of this and then give it another blend. But that's where we're at so far. And as I'm scraping it down, it is a little bit on the dry side, so I'm going to add a little bit of my water to this, maybe like a tablespoon, just to help it along. Aha, yes. That is how I like this. And I'm gonna put this into a bowl and then show you the consistency of it. And there you have it. So I'm gonna take my measuring spoon here and just show you the consistency of it. But it has a little bit of texture to it, which I like. You can blend it down a little further if you don't want so much texture. You can make it smoother if you want. There it is once again. Now all the ingredients are down in the description box below for this, but this is also a recipe that's in my free digital magazine, which is on my website. And I try to do this magazine every season, so the spring issue is out right now. And it's just a fun little creative thing that I like to put together. I always have some recipes in there. This is one of them, so that's in there. It's free to download on my website. I'll put that information in the description box down below. And also, while you're blending, you can taste it and adjust for seasoning like salt and pepper. Because I was using olives, those are very salty. And I've made this so many times, I knew that I wasn't gonna have to add any extra salt, but adjust for your seasonings, to your taste. But there it is. And now I'm gonna show you this in action for dinner. So here is my vegan pesto in action. I'm using it tonight on my salad with my vegan ranch. And you can see the little dollop of the pesto right in the middle, just a very simple salad. I've got some mixed salad greens and some tomatoes in there. And that is gonna make a really nice flavor punch in that salad. And then for dinner, I'll just show you it's Friday night pizza night, so we have our own pizzas here. I've got Amy's vegan cheeseless pizza, so I made some of my own cheese sauce. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.